This was Atal Bihari Vajpayee's dream project. It is now complete. Another project is almost complete now. It's called North, South, East, West. From Imphal to Porbandar in Gujarat and from Srinagar to Kanyakumari. Gigantic projects, believe me, among the best in the world. But somewhere, the point of national pride and our belief in ourselves is not there with any of these things. I'm digressing into an anecdote. On a visit to China, I think 5-6 years back, I've been to China many times, but this is my last visit. We were traveling by bus to Nanking. So on the way, I asked our translator and guide, it was a beautiful highway, fantastic highway, 6-lane highway, was zipping down. I asked him, how many kilometers of these kind of expressways or highways do you have in China? He shot back immediately. He said 96,000 kilometers is planned. We haven't achieved it as yet. We are about 70-75, but we have targeted 96,000 kilometers by the year 2020. I was a bit intrigued. I said, why 96,000? Normally, people target in multiples of 5, 90, 95, 100,000 and so on. 96,000 kilometers. So the answer really floored me. He said, sir, the United States has 95,000 kilometers. China must have at least 1,000 kilometers more. So this from a guy who is not very well educated, he is not a great scholar or expert or nothing. But you see, these things go down. People internalize. These are symbols of national pride. Unfortunately, when I go abroad, I find Indians most critical of India. All the time, they are running the country down. So filthy, so bad, your stations are bad, your roads are bad, there are potholes, there is this, there is that. True, all is true, I am not denying. But unless there is a collective resolve that it won't stay like this, we'll improve, and when we improve, we'll talk about it with pride. Okay, many things are not there, but the highways have been built. I have driven down those highways myself. I drive myself mostly, except in the cities. I drove from Delhi to Mumbai and back. I drove myself from Delhi to Gangtok and back. The roads are unbelievable. Because as a child, I remember what kind of roads we used to go through. There's been a dramatic transformation. Airports, look at what's happened. What was Delhi airport? In the middle of village, wheat fields, paddy fields all around the village. When I was a child, when I first came to Delhi to study in the mid-70s. From there to many airports, things change, and now we have, I think it's a world-class airport. Same is happening in every other city. So it's not that things haven't happened, but much more than this will happen. And we are part of that transformation. You have to believe in that transformation, and we'll do it. We need more management institutions, medical colleges. I was talking about Bijli Sadak Pani. 2 more words have got added to it now. You go to villages, and I have contested an election myself just now. I contested the Lok Sabha election from a constituency in Bengal. I did not win, but it was a great learning experience. And what are people demanding? Along with Bijli Sadak Pani, Shiksha and Swasth. Sushiksha, yes. Good education. There are government schools everywhere, but they don't give you adequate education. They don't prepare you to be part of this battle for change. Hell. Kapoor Sahab, in this particular assembly segment I went, I was asking people, are there no hospitals here? They said, yes, there is a government primary health center there. I said, कोई जाता है वहाँ? बोले नहीं, वहाँ जाके क्या फायदा? तो डॉक्टर भी नहीं है, दवाइयाँ नहीं है और गंदा है. with car जाते हैं, they all travel about 40 kilometers to the main district hospital. And this is my constituency is just right next to Calcutta. ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत दूर you have to travel 300 kilometers somewhere दूर दराज नहीं. My constituency is just 40 kilometers from Calcutta, and in that constituency, one segment, people have to travel 30 kilometers to go to a semi-decent hospital. I said, I generally out of curiosity asked, so what is the main problem? Why do you have to go to hospital? They said, we have to go to hospital every day because the biggest problem here is snake bites. Snake bites. It's a rural area and snakes are still quite rampant, and people, they say, every second person dies of snake bite because by the time we take the person from this village to the district hospital, the fellow is dead. By the time the ambulance comes and goes to the hospital. So these are the things that are challenging, real challenges. So you find, you put up 10 great airports, but people won't be happy. What difference does it make to them? They want their children to get the best education, which entitles them or gives them the opportunity to compete with your children. They want education and they want health services. And all this you will have to provide. We have laid the foundation, our generation has laid the foundation, we know what we need, and now we have a government that is committed to many of these things. They have announced the programs, and we will need hundreds and thousands of managers, hundreds and thousands of teachers. There are no teachers in the country. This is a very serious situation that you have so many colleges, universities coming up, private colleges, universities, government is also opening up many areas, but there are not enough teachers, not enough qualified teachers. Nobody wants to teach. So these are some, you see, human resource problems, human management problems are going to become very serious unless we all give adequate importance to this. So I think in the coming years, opportunities are going to open up in a big way. And these opportunities are for you to grab. But yes, not all of you are going to get 8-figure salaries from day one. You have to be serious about it. You have to climb up the stairs. Climb the stairs one by one. But opportunities are there. You've been to good schools, you've come to a good institution, and the way the expansion is going to happen, it's a gigantic change, revolution is on its way. Opportunities are huge. You have to grab them. And not be dissatisfied. Because in all of this, the country is going to transform, opportunities are going to open up, and you have to work to create a better future for your children and grandchildren. I am just concluding. Some other areas, for instance, which require, this is my second last point, which require intervention by educated, trained people. Agricultural processing. Agri-processing is going to be a huge industry and will require management in a big way. Let me give you an example. See, the potatoes you eat in French fries at McDonald's and places like that, French fries everywhere, come. Any idea where the French fries, the potatoes for the French fries come? For McDonald's? No? They come from Mehsana in Gujarat. Mind you, arid state by and large. But in Gujarat, the particular variety of potatoes, which are big and have very little moisture content. So they are really hard, tough potatoes, perfect for making these French fries. They are pretty costly also. I go back to my constituency and district, Hooghly, near Calcutta. Every second year, there is a pathetic sight of farmers picking the potatoes from the field, putting them in these plastic nets and throwing them on the road for buses and lorries going past. to crush the potatoes on the road. Why? Because every 2 or 3 years there's a glut and potato sells at 50 paisa a kilo. Farmers feel it is not worth growing that potato and selling it for 50 paisa. I've talked to them and they've said that hurts them to sell it at 50 paisa. They said we will also do grow. If anybody wants it, let them take it. No, this is unfair. Very unfair. And I think the government has to take the initiative in setting up agro-processing plants, improve the quality. Not just I'm giving potato as an example, but there are so many other areas where farmers must get an appropriate value for their labor and the inputs that go into agricultural production. China's wheat productivity is 4 times that of India. 4 times. Why is it? Why can't we do it? So these are things that need attention, and increasing the private sector will have a big role in this. Mind you, government can't manage. The government simply cannot manage this gigantic scale of the transformation that will happen. So, I think rural management is going to become progressively very important, and I would like to see many of you involved in that branch of management, because it will be enormously satisfying and it will give you good payout. Private companies are going to come in a big way. So, I think what you have to gear up for is to be part of this huge transformational things that are going to happen. And in this, whether you are in a company selling fast-moving consumer goods or agro-processing industries, innovation lies in innovation and improvisation. And just as Indians have many abilities, Mr. Kapoor mentioned, value systems, our family values, which give us an edge, where all Western societies acknowledge that why do Indian students, when they go abroad, do so well? In their schools, colleges, Indians are topping everywhere. Why? Because of the value system which begins with our family system in this country. So these things will have to be retained, strengthened. National pride is part of that system, and that should continue. We have nothing to be ashamed of. Let me tell you. Nothing to be ashamed of, except perhaps football. There is nothing to be ashamed of. So you must keep these things in mind, and remember, there is also one more thing in which we are masters, and nothing wrong with that also. It is also a great Indian innovation. You have to, in the interregnum period, while we reach that stage, remember there is always jugaad. And I believe jugaad is a great Indian innovation. You have to use it to move on to the next stage. So whether it's in management or anywhere else, except don't use jugaad while sitting for your exams. Otherwise everything is fine. Thank you very much.